No. Ankarane, Chitakarane, Takarane, Sirigarane, Ankarane, Chugakarane, Sakarane, Sirigarane, Takarane, Chugakarane, Sakarane, Sirigarane. Inhale, breathe. So today, Baba Siri Chand says our place is about heart. Heart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because this is not about the physical, because you understand about heart. And you understand that from Baba Siri Chand. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we'll have meditation for 3 minutes and continue.
Can you say it again for me, Siri Gian? My Wi-Fi is unstable, so I missed some of the explanation.
Okay, this is about heart, Heart. And this is not about our physical self or heart, but listen from Baba Siri Chand. Did you get that?
Yes, about heart.
Oh, good. Okay. Now begin together. 3 minutes.
Ah.
And inhale and exhale and breathe. Okay. Begin with Gian das Prem.
Satnam.
Mhm.
Oh, sunflower.
Sunflower.
Sunflower, yeah. Um, so what Bubba was showing me was the the power of the sun and how it's at the center and the correlation. I know you said not to look at physical, but that it's sort of at the center. So and then showing me the cell or the core of the nucleus and how a single cell is then surrounded by countless amounts of other cells, and
Mhm.
that the correlation of all of that coming into the study of the yogic philosophy to focus on the breath. And when we focus on our breath and our inhale related to where we are here as far as the sun goes, and that the sun is coming from the outside providing a vibration that allows life to come through that, from that light, to supply more life for us here where we are. And that sitting still, Surya.
Mhm.
So like the position, so and then he's showing me the salutations, noticing the salutations of how we came up with the clock through the positions of is Surya Namaskara, or the positions in the yogic. It's showing me a clock. It's things that I've seen before through the studying of the yogic sciences, but um to notice that heart within, all the beings, that and the breaking open of the heart, of how we have the ability to see from within that, being opened up from our heart center, to noticing, what's around us, and empathizing with all of that life, and noticing the use of this vessel that we're in, and all of the other life around us, and within that sunflower, and how it bends over when it's ready to go down to the ground. It's releasing its seeds down to the ground. And then within that geometric pattern of the flower, how many correlations there are to that of our being, and to that of our, back to the mandala and the art and the light and the colors, and noticing, where we are, what we're working with within our breath. Yeah, that it does sort of come from our heart, but there's also other parts of our being that can be considered our heart too, like our belly button, right, where we get separated from our mom, from being, inside of another person. So yeah, that Wahe Guru in there, and that yeah, is it Om Matraya Namaha, is um in that, that namaste, and that noticing of the other parts of the earth that are practicing breathing practices, in a salutary celebration, right? Back to that joy of life, and noticing how we all have a cycle, and that the sunflower was really good for that noticing, and how tall it can become, and the differences in the sizes, and how they look towards each other like people do when we want support and when we're provided with support that comes from the planet. Yeah, and that the earth has a heart too. That's in a sense, with the life cycle of the flower, we have that chance to look into the flower, when it just sort of it changes, it changes us too, I think, in a sense, or from my personal experience in that. Wahiguru. Yeah, Wahiguru. Thank you, Baba Siri.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Agia Paul.
Yes, I have been recognizing that my heart has been neglected, and I've been in my head for quite a while. My head, I found myself, my mind was just spinning, trying to decide this, doing this, wanting to plan this and this. And then in meditation, it came that to bring my head and my heart together, and on my heart breath, to send out, just to focus on heart breath and to send love to the world and of course to myself. And the heart is my heart is the core of my being. And I've been, I guess you would say, neglecting that, and just like giving in to the everyday pressures of what has to be done. So the meditation, in my meditation, I focused primarily on heart breath and sending it. And today, as I was walking, the same thing, sending. It gives a new perspective on everything, on life and so forth, and sending heart breath to all living beings, and on that heart breath, all the different frequencies of that are needed for life, and to sort of regenerate a lot of what is dying around us. And so I think I have a big job to focus on, expanding my heart center, and remembering, remembering when I go into my head and disconnect, and just like go right back to, okay, exhale, big heart breath back into my heart. So I'm thankful for this topic, because it's been definitely on my mind and on my heart for these past few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Good. Anything else?
What, yeah, maybe one other thing. Something I did with a friend of mine is, what we did was we looked at each other, and we did sort of a transmission of heart breath to each other, and heart energy to each other. And immediately the focus was not in my head or what was going on, but it was very powerful. and I um and I'm very grateful for that. So I think what I just want to say is when we have the opportunity to transmit, to share heart breath with
And so,
someone, it's magnified, and it's something that I'm going to be looking to do and to focus on.
okay.
Yeah.
So are you saying to do this, for instance, all the time?
Well, as much as I can keep it, in my conscious awareness,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, I think I had a experience a couple days ago of just going outside and um it's hard to explain, but just looking and feeling, and there was a doe in my backyard, and her fawn was um a few yards away from her, and as I saw that, it just generated so much love in me, and I began to wonder, what this life is all about, and and what is life all about? What am I? Who am I? What am I doing here?
Mm-hmm.
And the questions are interesting. Of course, the answers elude me,
Mm.
but I think it's all tied in with heart. Uh, Maybe we're all one big heart, and with a lot of amnesia, and our jobs perhaps are to remind everyone that we are all one big heart.
Ah,
And
Mm.
yep. So I feel, this is good, this call, because participating, because it is giving me the structure, the discipline that I need to spend time like this, and on the important things. I get so distracted by the not so important things. And at the time they feel insurmountable and overwhelming and da da da. And then I go into my heart, and it stabilizes, it settles, and it being in my heart space is what I like you said, what I would my goal, if you can say that, would be to stay in my heart space all the time.
mm,
That's what I'm working toward.
wonderful.
Mm.
Hmm,
Thank you for listening.
yes. So is this what you're about? Or is that actually that humans are and more um, about art? Is that right?
Yeah, I think we're all about heart,
Mm-hmm.
and those and many of us have forgotten it,
That's
and
right.
many of us are not aware of it, and many of us are not awake to that. And it's like we got to set the alarm here to wake up everybody,
That,
and um and that's That's what I'm trying to do because it's very easy to slip into negativity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, who's that jerk down the road that is flying that Trump flag, blah, 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 and then I go on and on and oops, okay, stop, go to neutral, go to love, go to your heart center.
And what about laughing?
Yeah, right. That's really very, yeah, laughing is very, especially at myself, like, um, is very healing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Hari Mander. Are you here?
Now I am.
Oh, good.
um, just a second. Okay, I just got back from New Mexico.
Oh, really?
Saying goodbye to my time there and my Kundalini connections and my land connections.
Mm-hmm.
And this morning, I'm teaching in rotation to the elder in the elder organization here. It's just a half an hour of yoga and it hasn't really included much meditation, but the one that I was researching this morning was Gobinda Hari Hari.
Mm-hmm.
And the Gobinda is the sustainer, that which holds us beyond ego, beyond mind. And the Hari is the creative manifestation of God or of the infinite, and the manifestation of that sustainability.
Mm.
So really, that's heart. I mean, isn't heart God within us? And so that's what I have been thinking, which connects into what the topic is very well. And as Agia Paul was talking, I was reminded early to smile. And of course, you mentioned laughter also. So that's the lesson we will be experiencing and practicing this morning in another hour.
Sorry. Say the last part. I didn't get that. Do it
Um,
again.
So this mantra, this meditation will be what we will be practicing this morning in another hour.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, another thing that came up this morning was humming.
Humming.
Om, ma, om mani padme hum.
Mm-hmm.
As it affects the vagus nerve.
Mm-hmm.
And the humming, oh, I'm trying to remember what I was going to say. It's Oh, it's for self-healing. And so this simply humming and the vibration of it throughout the body, and the vibration of the mantra too. Gobinda. Mm, mm, is a way to self-heal through these self-heal, because I got off the plane and having been sitting for hours on the plane and sitting in my truck for hours and hours traveling between Mora and Española and Albuquerque, I've thrown out something in my back. So it makes it difficult to stand up or sit down. Or I can sit down, but it's hard to stand up. So I'm thinking of heart as self-healing. And the other aspect, as we move into the Aquarian age, the ancient sense of fear of dying, or fear of being exterminated, or fear of what could happen. The fear and the what's the word? Separation, which that the old ways are desperately trying to keep us in fear and separation, but that's Piscean. And changing that into peace and love, which comes from that deep inner knowing, which is heart. It's interesting to watch the political times try to hold on to the fear and separation as we move into different ways, including the manifestation of love, which and peace, which is just a vibration. Okay, that's enough.
That was great. Oh my goodness, that was wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You know what you were talking about with politics, you know, Kamala, she is, what do you say? She laughs a lot. Isn't that amazing? Because that moves heart from all of that darkness. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
So, so this would be the changing for the times. You see all these things that we're talking about? It's happening.
Mm.
Okay. Thank you, dear. Okay. So, Japa Saraswati.
Can I say something for Hari Mender really quickly? Was that you said that it's the vibration of love. And when you were saying about humming, Dedham calls humming tuning, and it's all about the tuning the body. And I really feel it when, especially when you move up and down the vocal cords, different, like I feel like I can move the vibration to different places in my vocal cords, but then I feel like that changes the vibration. And that's what I really understand about humming and tuning and the vibration. And then when you pair that with the nam, which, you know, automatically makes the vibration holy, it's really special for me. And that was that was nice to hear from your message um for me. Um so about the heart, but not about the body, but it still is in the body, so there's a bit of um anyway, what I felt about heart, the message from heart was that it's an energy house, and that it's a center of renewable energy, and that our heartbeat makes a signature that makes us alive. It makes an energy signature that um, itself is sacred. And sometimes myself, I get confused. I forget that this heartbeat, that this energy signature is sacred. I kind of get down on myself, like, oh, I'm so messy, or I'm so needy, or I'm so whatever. And lose track of the fact that just my energy signature alone is holy and sacred, and that that's not a bad thing for me to be messy or needy or something else. It's just about me being alive. And um so that was part of what I remembered from this. And what then Baba reminded me about was heart breath, and
Mhm.
also about giving, like, if you want to give energy or prayer to somebody else, the only safe, not, yeah, kind of the only safe place for you to really give it from is from the heart center. So if you give your energy like from your lower chakras, you know, you'll feel out of balance and ungrounded. And if you give them from your higher chakras, you'll be really out of balance, and you'll be like just all out of whack. But the only really safe way for you to give energy to pray for somebody is to send it from your heart center. And that's because as long as our heart is beating, we are continuing to make more energy from there. But basically, like, we're not making more energy from our other chakras that easily. Whereas we're just continually making more from our heart center. And then what Baba reminded me of is how this is this is really weird. Um, what he reminded me of is that how much trouble I've always had if I try to live apart from my heart space, that other people, I see other people do it. I see other people going sort of against their convictions, or against, you know, like, they know, you can see that they know that they're doing something that's not quite right. But me, I've never really been able to do that. And it makes me very, it makes me a little force of nature. But it's also kind of a hard row to hoe for me. Um, and I feel that that's why I feel that it's with Baba Siri Chand's support that I'm getting through that. You know, I feel that I've always been really different because of it. And I think that that's part of why I get to lean into um, the support of this heart space. And yeah, did
Mm.
I
Say it again.
I feel funny about saying this. So when I want to tell you about doing heart breath a couple of months ago, back in November, I hired a contractor and I gave him a check, and he basically just took the money and ran. It was for a deposit. And I could have pressed charges and stuff, but he was kind of a felon, and I didn't want to piss him off because he knew where I lived and stuff. So I basically let it go. But the same day that I handed him the check, this deer ran right into my car and I got a huge dent on my car. And so I in the winter time in like December and January, I did a ton of heart breath about the situation with the contractor and like how I should feel about it and what I should do about it. But basically, I was sending myself deep neutral forgiveness for getting myself into the pickle of giving that guy the money. And I realized that it was actually a lot better than if he had started tearing apart my house in November, because he was clearly up to no good one way or the other. So I think I got off cheap by just giving him a deposit and letting him out of my life with blessings. And so I really did a ton of heart breath. I'm talking about hours and hours. I sat in the chair where I'm sitting, but it took me a lot longer to fix the dent in my car, which I felt was like a little bit of like a maybe a little bit of a punishment for having done this on the same day or whatever. And anyway, I learned some lessons. My mother really scolded me because I had forgotten my checkbook in Massachusetts. So I had to get the guy a cashier's check from the bank because I didn't have my regular checkbook because it was in Massachusetts. And my mother was so mad at me. If you had only given him the other check, you would have been able to cancel it very easily, yada, yada. So I was really self-punishing about that. And then when I got the dent fixed in the car, it happened a couple of months ago. And I signed the contract with the guy for what he was supposed to do to fix the dent. And it said he was supposed to put a new bumper, a new door, new this, new that. And I go and pick up the car, and it took really, really quick time. And the second I got the car back, I could see that he hadn't fixed it properly, that it wasn't a new bumper, it wasn't a new door, it wasn't this, it wasn't that. And I had paid him by a regular old check. And that meant that I could put a stop payment on the check because he hadn't done what was in our contract to do. And so anyway, I put the stop payment on the check and I asked the insurance company to please work it out for me because I felt like I was way out of my depth. And at the end of the day, what happened is that I don't have to pay the guy because I only have to pay him for what we contracted to do. And I don't have to pay him for the other stuff. And it's a very similar amount to the amount that that I gave to the contractor. And yeah, it's very similar amount. Um, and so anyway, I have this happened a couple of months ago, but like I'm finally getting the word in from the insurance people that, this is how the cookie crumbles. And I really feel that it was doing the heart breath that I neutralized that karma and that charge, and also that I learned my lesson from the contract on the first place, that that then I learned a lesson about contracts for the very next time, and it turned out to work in my favor. And yeah, and so that was about heart breath.
Hmm. Okay. Well, God bless you.
Yeah.
That's the way to heal this earth. Isn't that amazing?
Mm-hmm.
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 God bless all of you.
Yeah.
Now, oh, About the humming, I remember about my grandmother. She would just hum all the
Mm.
time. Hmm, hmm, hmm. And we thought that was strange, but oh well, that's our grandmother. So maybe that was just her way of healing.
Mm.
So, so there we are. Now, does anybody else have anything to talk about?
Well, just a comment on humming. My favorite bird is the hummingbird,
Oh,
and I've seen some hummingbirds around, and it reminds me I have to change their nectar. But I absolutely love hummingbirds, and I appreciate your grandmother for humming.
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try that. But
Oh,
and when I see the hummingbirds, it will remind me of to do that.
mm-hmm. Wonderful. Okay. Hummingbirds, that's about spirit, isn't it?
Hmm.
When I was in
Yep.
New Mexico, if I left the doors open, the hummingbirds would come inside.
Mm.
So I had to figure out how to do that.
It's hard to get them out because they want to go to right to the ceiling, and you have to. It's not easy.
That's right. That's right. Oh, how about what get together for more heart breaths? Shall we do that? Especially, excuse me, for yourselves and especially in this times for the politics, for the terrible things that are happening right now, for the earth, and so on. So please begin, and we'll do that for 5 minutes. Okay, and continue. And inhale. And exhale. And breathe. And what do you feel? Beyond this breath?
I am feeling mantra.
Uh-huh.
And I am seeing us together, looking at each other.
Mm-hmm.
Joined together in mantra, yeah. And I am wanting to know the rhythm of that mantra of the Hara Hara Govinda Govinda.
Mm-hmm.
I will send you a link to my favorite version.
Yeah. Oh, why Guru? Yeah, because that communication of coming together like that with the communication of, that therapeutic value that it has of, the communication through verbal and then through our visual and through our vibratory of, yeah. And through the mention of that today, I am personally asked that question, but being shown that it's for, for part of that coming together for us of coming into our practice and sharing that practice with other people, how we are today, and the celebration for that. Yeah, Waheguru. And thank you so much.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Harimanda, thank you.
Yeah. So Agya Paul.
Yeah, I was trying with the heart breath. I was doing some humming on the heart breath, and it felt pretty cool. And because it vibrated, I felt the vibration more. My I could focus on the humming with an ah sound opens. I find my heart quite a bit more than other sounds. So I was humming like with ah, and um well, I what I can say is like Hari Hari, and there's a mantra I've been doing. Oh, thank you, Jap. What I have been doing is Om Namah. I do Om Namah Shivaya a lot, and the ah sound opens my heart, and yep. So I feel very, very light at this time, like happy, like there's room to be joyful.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mm.
Okay. Harimander, what do you think? What do you feel?
I was just busy sending it to all sorts of people, to New Mexico and to the rest of the world. But I would like you to say again about Kamala's laughter.
Mm-hmm.
And how it relates to the teachings.
Well, let's say about, well, there is, the important yoga is about laughing. Do you know it's what do you call it? An asana for laughing. Did you know about that?
Um, kind of, not the specific asana, but we laugh out loud in classes, in practice. Yeah.
Yep, there are. And then Baba Siri Chand would tell us to laugh and to dance. You remember that?
Mm, yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. It would change our that stuck places. Instead, just start dancing and laughing. There you go. Okay, so Japa Saraswati.
Yes.
Mhm.
I loved it. I was in my head hearing the Govinda Hare Hare that I just texted to each of you. It's like from Snudham's, one of her really early albums, so you all probably know this version, but it's my favorite one. And I just felt so much light and like a real breeziness and a love, and it was really beautiful.
How wonderful.
Yeah, and also I just got a text from Sahaj who said she had an early morning doctor appointment this morning, and that's why she's not with us. And also Jagat Gurukar was getting a scan this morning, and that's why she's not with us. And Suzanne messaged and said that she is with her family on the beach in North Carolina, and that's why she is not here with us today. So I kind of in the last moments was including all of them in the energy.
Wonderful. Thank you for everybody.
Mm.
Okay. So now I'll give Paul. Will you lead us for our song?
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you, everyone. So let's just do some heart breath. Bring our hands together. Heart breath. May the long sun shine upon you, all around,
you.
and the
Your light
within you
guide
guide
your way on.
guide
Guide your way on.
guide your
Your way on. Inhale. Soft. Bless you all. You are all pure heart, all of you.
Thank
God.
you so much.
Mwah. See ya.
All right. See ya.
Satnam, everyone.